Ubizo Lungibize engalweni Ngiyokhalela bani nayi iphimbo lami liphindaphinde entabeni Ngithi inyawo zami ngibeleze kulomhlaba nemsini Ngifunana noxolo engalweni
Sawubona to you, sawubona to yours, from one great spirit to another. Igama lami uThulani Malevu. Welcome to Ubizo. Today we name a condition many of us live inside but rarely recognize as imposed. We call it stress, but this is not ordinary stress. This is colonial stress, a long emergency that never officially ended, only normalized. This episode is for the tired ones, the ones who sleep but never feel rested, the ones whose minds race even in silence, the ones who feel guilt when they pause. This is not weakness. This is a nervous system shaped by history. Colonial stress is prolonged survival mode. It's what happens when generations are forced to remain alert, productive, obedient, resilient, and resilient without reprieve. It is the body learning that rest is unsafe, slowness is punished, that stillness invites danger. Colonial stress is not a diagnosis in textbooks. It is, however, clearly written in our bodies though. Hypervigilance mistaken for ambition, exhaustion praised as discipline, anxiety normalized as drive. This is not how humans are meant to live. This is how labor systems require bodies to function. Then you may wonder, where does it show up in the body? Colonial stress lives in the nervous system's default setting. Always on, always scanning, always bracing. It shows up as tight chest and shallow breathing, difficulty relaxing even in safe spaces, irritability, insomnia, brain fog, a constant sense of, I must do more. Most African bodies do not know true rest, only collapse, because rest was never modeled as safe. It was interrupted by bells, by whips, by clocks, and quarters. Therefore, the body learned that survival required readiness. And then we may ask a question, when did this pattern begin? It began when time itself was colonized. Because before empire, time followed the sun, seasons, body rhythm, as well as ceremony. Then came the clock, the shift, the deadline. Work divorced from meaning, productivity divorced from life. Generations were then trained to wake up early not for prayer but for labor, to move quickly not for joy but for survival. Even now the body still remembers, if I stop, something bad will happen. This is inherited fear, passed through blood, not story. And then there's many ways in terms of how this stress persists even today. It persists because the system never changed. Only the language did change. The whip became performance reviews. The plantation became the workplace. The overseer became the internal voice saying, rest later, push through. We are praised for burnout, rewarded for overextension, and shamed for slowing down. And so the nervous system never rests. We confuse busyness with purpose and fatigue with worth. But a constantly activated nervous system cannot heal. It cannot create or connect deeply. But there's definitely a revolution in the horizon, because rest dismantles the system at its roots. A rested body thinks clearly, feels deeply, cannot be easily manipulated. Rest returns choice. It allows the nervous system to exit survival and re-enter presence. This is why rest was denied first and mocked last. Rest is not laziness. It is refusal. refusal to measure life by output, refusal to inherit exhaustion as destiny, and refusal to let trauma dictate rhythm. When you rest, you interrupt a centuries-old command. There is a way forward in terms of how we can reclaim the rhythm. Because healing colonial stress is not just about doing more, it is about doing less, consciously. Begin here, Great Spirit. Shorten the breath until it deepens naturally. Create pockets of stillness without apology. Rest before exhaustion, not after collapse. And let the body lead the schedule when possible. And remember, rest is not sleep alone. It is safety. It is unproductive moments. It is unmeasured time. It is joy without justification. As your nervous system softens, you will feel guilt rise. Let it pass. That guilt is not yours. It is the echo of a system losing control. Great Spirit, hear this clearly. You were not born to be tired. You were not created to be constantly alert. You were not meant rather to earn your rest. Rest is ancestral. Rest is intelligent. Rest is sacred. Until next time, okuhle, umusa, kanye nokukhanya ekuhambeni kwakho. Light, mercy, and sacred illumination on your path.